All right. Well, happy Sunday afternoon, all. I'm going to get into my Cub projects. I want to get at least a couple of my to-do list items checked off. It is a very steamy Sunday afternoon. It's raining off and on, so I'm dodging the rain and the heat and trying to stay out of the sun. It is really hot. Okay, so today's project items. I've got the side stand kit that I purchased from Steady Garage. Apparently this is the OEM stand, just repackaged. They got all the pieces that are needed, the kickstand, the pivot bolt, the nut, and all that stuff, spring, everything. So I'm going to be putting that on. Just one note in advance, you have to reuse your footpeg rubbers. I would recommend, if you're buying the center stand, go ahead and just order these from Honda or from somewhere else. They're only about $5 each, and it'll save you having to pull them off. I already know what kind of a booger it's going to be, but we'll see how it plays. They're glued on to the shaft from the factory, so it's a little bit of a pain to get them off of there. But we'll see how that plays. I do have this one that I bought from when my son dropped the Cub a couple months ago, and I just never did replace it. I replaced the trim ring because it was scuffed up, but I left the rubber on there because I was having trouble getting it off. We'll figure that out as we go. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put try to put my 15 tooth front sprocket on. I don't know if I'm going to need a different guide plate. We'll see how that looks in there when I get it open. I may not have enough clearance for a larger diameter sprocket, so we'll see how that works out. That is pretty much it for my to-do list today. Side stand and front sprocket, and away we go. So for the foot pegs, we're going to need a number 2 Phillips. There are 2 screws here and there that hold this trim cap, and it's also attached to the reinforcement plate on the bottom, and it just keeps it on there. Then we have 10 millimeter for the shift shaft. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it on at least one camera here. I've got 2 cameras going. We need a 10 millimeter to get that guy off, and we're going to need a 12 to get the foot peg assembly off of the bottom of the bike. So I think I've got all that. We're going to need a 5 millimeter to get the front chain case off. I don't know what the proper name in the manual is. This is the countershaft sprocket cover, so that's a couple of 5 millimeters. And also I'm going to go ahead and pull the upper chain case off because I think we've got an interference problem there, so we'll see how that goes. So there are 4 bolts under here. It's independent of the center stand. I was afraid that I was going to have to support the whole bike, but I had forgotten that the center stand is part of the frame and it's not part of this foot rest, or what they call their pedal, foot pedal assembly. So 4 bolts, they are 12 millimeter. Let's go take them off. I was going to get my power driver for this, but I don't think it's going to be needed. Hopefully you guys are on camera. That one's loose enough. And before I do that, whoopsie, I'm going out of order again. I need leverage to get the foot pegs off, or the rubbers off. So before I get that thing loosened up, let's do that part first. Eeny, meeny, where's my screwdriver? There it is. So let's take these guys out, and there's 1, there's 2. Oh, they're short, aren't they? Okay. Okay, so that's just the trim ring. And now this metal support plate kind of pinches everything together and holds it on here. We don't... there's not really a way to get that guy off because of the width of the peg. I figured that out, or width of the rubber, rather. I figured that out on the other side when I was messing with it a month or so ago. So, we're just gonna monkey it. It's glued. Yeah, there's the glue. I didn't want to force it last time. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I just read some other people's trials and tribulations, and they said it was glued on, so yank it. Okay. So we're going to reuse that on the new pedal assembly. Let me set these over here out of the way. Really don't want to get that all over me either. Yick. Okay, I need to do the same thing on the other side before I lose my leverage, because once you take this off of the bike, you don't have anything to pull against unless you go put it in a vise or something like that. So let's take this guy out. Okay, so this cover comes off there pretty easily, and then now we're just gonna repeat the process and brace against the bike and twist and pull and see what we can do to it. Oh, this one's on there better than the other one was. Oh, she's on there. Oh, she's on there. Oh yeah, just monkey it. That's on there. It's coming, but it's on there. There, I feel it breaking loose now. You just have to not be nice to it. Just, yeah, there we go. Glue. Yeah, can't be nice to it. Mangle it. So I'm replacing this one. I'm going to pull this support plate off, I think. There we go. Whee! Boy, that's on there. There. Okay. So. Take these over to the other side. Wait. So now that that's free, I can pull the lower bolts and get that stand out of there. That one's already loose. Yep, that's loose. I can see it turning. Okay. Well, they're longer than I thought they would be. And I see that the brake pedal rest is right on it. So we're going to have to go over to the other side and push the brake pedal down to get this out of there. If I can keep you guys on camera. Ugh. Trying to squirt around and do this at the same time. Come on. Okay, 4 of those guys, and we'll just let that gently rest right there. And I think I'll just pull it out from the other side. Hang on to it so it doesn't bang into anything. Okay, and gently rotate. There we go. Okay, so here's the factory pedal assembly. Okay. So, looking at the new one, it looks like we're going to reuse probably that rubber pad. I didn't see that on this one, so let's tear it open, see what we get. So here is, yeah, it looks like a factory part, same welds in the same places, but we've got this kickstand plate on there where the regular one doesn't. That's that side. Yeah. So there's a A to B comparison. That's the US standard one here. Sorry for all the tools in the background. US standard one, no kickstand boss. And then this, you can see kind of the cutout there. So this is welded in. So we need to figure out all the other ancillary parts here and get that thing put together. Obviously, we're going to have to pull this rubber stopper out of there. Oh, well, that was easier than I thought. Okay. So that guy is going to go here. Okay, that was easy. All right. Now, what is the next bit of fun? Considering these parts don't exist for the US model, they're not in the manual. I did receive my shop manual a few weeks back. Doesn't say anything about a kickstand, because we don't get one. Didn't bring a knife or scissors, but carrot. Okay then. It looks like it has the switch mount for the kickstand switch. That's a part that we can't seem to get. I've contacted several different resellers, and they don't stock it and they can't get it. So Honda is kind of restricting the distribution of that, possibly because there's no harness interface for it. I don't know. I might have to dig up a diagram, figure out if the spring needs to be up or down. We'll see how it goes based on placement. I have no idea what the torque spec is going to be. I would think it's just tight enough to be snug and to get into that locking part of the washer there. But we need to put some goop on it first. Okay, so what do we have here? Ooh, it's tight. Okay, so let's get some goop in there first. This stuff is messy. So that is our pivot surface, as is that. Just put a little dab of lure here. Okay then. Hey. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if they were right. If they got their pieces correct. It looks like it's going together so far. I'm keeping you guys on camera. Okay, so that is a 14, and we'll just spin that in a little bit here, see how far it goes in. Should go pretty much flush. Yep, it goes all the way flush. Okay, and then that is the mounting surface for, or the mounting point for the kickstand switch, and that's the little rotation lock that activates the switch itself. All right, so we got that all the way in there. Let me snug it. It's not going to need to be tight. Righty tighty. Okay, so just snug, and it does pivot freely. I got a little tighter than snug. Yeah, okay, so tighten it up. Good and snug. Okay, yeah, and it still pivots free. That's good. All right, and so now we're going to put the locking nut on the back of it. And I'm going to need to get yet another tool for that, I think. That's interesting. I'm not quite getting to the locking part of the washer here yet. That's interesting. The back side is going to be probably a 17, 14 on the front, 17 on the back. Oh, nailed it. Okay, so let's see if I can monkey it here. All right. Oh, I rounded that. That's not good. Okay. Yeah, that's a very shallow bolt head. It's hard to get a handle on that. Okay, well, I got the back good and tight, and we still pivot freely, so that's good. Okay, I'm trying to keep you all on camera. I apologize if I'm missing. So now we need to figure out orientation on the spring. It's definitely going to be this way. So I don't know if there is a forward-backward preference on this. I'm guessing not. Let's go look at another Honda, shall we? See if the hook should be facing forward or backwards. I don't think it matters. Oops, can't get through there. Okay, so this hook is curved forward, and this one is curved backwards. So we'll just duplicate that effort. Curve forward on the top. Done. Okay, so when we're mounted, curved forward on the top and down on the bottom. Now this will be tricky, so I can do it with a screwdriver. Some of these springs are a bear. See if I can get you on camera. I apologize. Oh yeah, she's tight. Usually the up position is going to be the shortest, so let's see if we can do it without it being on the bike. Oh, she's tight. Oh yeah, she's a strong, that's a strong spring right there. Let me see if I can do this. I'm sure there are plenty of better ways to do it, but oh yeah, that's not gonna be easy. Let's go down with it, shall we? Yeah, that's the way to go. So go toward the other part if you're upside down like this, and that'll be a whole lot easier to string that, I think. So he says, oh, missed it. Come on now. Get on that. I gotta get my screwdriver up. Now I need pliers. Get out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Come on. There you go. Okay, so it's in there. Now, that should take care of the side stand. Oh yeah, look at that. Clink and clink. Nice and firm action there. I like it. All right. Here we go. Going back together. You can retire yourself, sir. Okay, so let's see if I can get it in underneath. No, I'm gonna have to go in the same way I got it out. Okay, you gotta go in this way. Okay, too many tools, too little space. Okay, upside down we go. All right, try to keep you all on camera. And, you know, they don't call for thread lock on these, but I'm a firm believer in thread lock. Sorry. Especially with these thumpers, single cylinder bikes, they vibrate a lot. So anything you can do to keep your bolts in is a good idea. So we can get this one started. Okay, that's pretty much it for my finger strength. Now it's time to wrench it in. If I can find the ratchet that I'm sitting on. Close this up before I end up painting myself with it. Too many tools. Okay, there we go. Now, the manual only calls for, I think it was 21 foot-pounds for these guys, so I'm not going to break out the torque wrench right now. I'll do that when I finish up, but 21 is just kind of firmed up. It's not super tight. That's another reason why I wanted to do thread lock on these guys. And as always, I go in kind of a crisscross pattern. I don't think it's really necessary for this, but you know, why not? Yeah, I'm sure that's about 20-ish. Probably went over that. Okay, so they're snugged. I'll get the torque wrench out for that. These guys aren't even listed in the manual. They just, they're 8mm flange bolts, 12mm head. So I think the factory manual said 21 foot-pounds was the spec. So that's that for the side stand. Look at that. Somebody mentioned that this thing's a little hard to hit with your foot. It doesn't have like a rubber pad like the old ones from the 80s used to have. I could probably arrange something like that, a little rubber flipper thing. It was also a safety thing for back in the 80s. If you had your stand down, the little rubber flipper actually hung out a little further, and it would act as kind of a soft flip instead of, you know, basically grounding out your frame, which could cause you to topple over. But it works quite well. Beauty. I'm going to look for that side stand switch because I would like the ignition interlock. Cool. That's going to be nice. Okay. Enough playing with that. Okay, I guess while I'm sitting here, I'll go ahead and put my foot peg rubbers back on. Get all the pieces lined up here. Got the rubber, the support, which goes that way, kind of follows that groove, and then the trim ring. And last but not least, glass cleaner. It makes things so much easier. Okay, let's try that again. Clippy dippy. Ooh, she's tight. There it goes. All right. All right. Cool. That's on there. Now, squishing this ring down is a bit of a pain. I remember that from the right side one a few weeks back. It is just a compression fit. You have to kind of maneuver both sides of it, and then it'll get on there. And then the fun part is getting the screws back into the little support on the sides. It's a little tight. And again, it's just a compression fit, so you kind of have to maneuver around until you find the threads. Yeah, it's not quite down far enough. Let's go like that. There it is. Caught one of the threads. Okay, leave that one just a little loose and try it again. The other side. And there it is. Okay. So, give it a good crank. I'm not going to bother with thread lock on these. I think the tension will be enough to hold them. Okay. That's done. Cool. All right. So, let's repeat that for the other side. Grab this and the two screws. And the pavement is going to be smoking hot over there. I think I'm going to take my pad with me. Uh-huh. Ooh, I was right. Pavement's hot. Ooh, 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 ooh. Lube that thing up and do this before I melt. Done. What do you do? Get on there. Get. Thank you. Oh man, that's tight. There it is. Just kind of have to push down at an angle and get that thing lined up. And of course the brake pedal is going to be in my way now. Yeah, brake pedal's in my way. Can he hold it down with his toes? Monkey. There it goes. Get it good and tight so it can't back out. Oh my God, that sun is hot. Okay, done. So now I have foot pegs with a kickstand. Sweet. Now I gotta finish that project for the sprocket. Goody goody. And man, it's getting hot. Look at that. Cub on a side stand. Now, obviously, you want to make sure the thing's not in gear if you're doing this, or it might just topple over on its side. But hey, swing a logo over now. Look at that. Oh yeah. And before anybody mentions it, no, I'm not wearing proper gear. I'm going around the block. Okay, off we go. Kick up the side stand. That's another thing that we definitely have to remember with this little kit, because you put it in gear, it doesn't have the ignition interlock, so got to make sure that side stand is up. I mentioned earlier the older 80s model side stands from Honda had that rubber flipper on the end, and it was a safety flipper. So if you forgot to put your side stand up, as soon as you leaned, that would catch before the metal would. Very good idea. Probably should do something similar on this one.